Hello there everybody. Thank you for joining us again on the Colour Passion channel. I'm Kim Gow from Colour Passion. In today's tutorial, I thought I'm going to try a new colour. The last video was a little bit like that, but I've just refined it a little bit more. We're going to see how it goes. It's going to be called Dragon's Blood, and it is as a request for this colour to be created from the lovely Lorraine in Canada. So Lorraine, this is for you. Okay, so it's a very, very dark colour, like a black, and then it's got a bit of red when the light hits it. So not sure how it's going to go, but we'll have a play and find out. I thought we'd do that on the base. Then we would use our beautiful, as you know I love it, the milk white, or skim milk white. We're going to use that. Mental blank. Goodness gracious me. Top Cell, Passion Top Cell. We're going to use that, and I'm thinking the molten copper. I love that colour. And also in that theme, I thought that we would use the beautiful, it's the Russet Colour Shift Glitter. So I think that'll go really nice with it. So we're going to have a play with that as well. So I have actually around the sides of my board, and you'll see it when I go to the other area where it shoots down over here. I'm going to, I've sprayed it black, sorry, so it's a nice dark colour. So when the Dragon's Blood goes over the edge, it's because it's vertical, so it's always going to thin down, and if it's just white, then it can make it really sort of quite transparent, and it's not what we want. We want a nice in-depth edges. So that's what I've done in preparation here, and I've got my other gimbal up here, which I'm going to connect the phone up to in a moment. I've got a new microphone, so I'm hoping you'll hear things a lot better now. See how we go. All right, everybody, let's go and have some fun and see what we can create with Dragon's Blood. Okay everybody, you won't see my head, that's perfectly fine because I want you to see the board. Today we're going to be working with our fast cure resin, our art resin. I love this, I really do. It's very easy to work with, it laces up beautifully, and even on a bigger size board it's absolutely fine, but I guess if you're a bit nervous, new, you want to take more time, the Ultimate probably would be a better one to go with, but I personally love the fast cure. All right, I've mixed it. I've mixed 1-to-1 ratio. So I've mixed up actually 800 mils here. So basically that is 400 and 400, if my memory serves me correct. I'm just going to, I've got my little standy from Bunnings thermometer. I always like to know what the temperature is, 23.3. So that's perfect. I've got my oil column heater on, and I'm feeling a bit warm at the minute. I've had that on high to warm up the room, but I think I'm going to turn it down to 25. I had it up at 28. Right, now our colours. So we've got this new one that I've mixed up, which is the Dragon's Blood. So what I'm going to do now is just pour into our cup here. I'm not sure how much I'm going to need, to tell you the truth. So I'll probably go about maybe 450. We'll see how we go. We've got the molten copper, which is so, I love that colour actually. Skim milk. We've got some Top Cell white. Again, I don't need a lot of that. And I'm not sure yet with the colour shift, the Russet Colour Shift, whether I'm going to put that in resin or sprinkle it on. So I'll just put some in the container here and see how we go. I'm going to leave a little bit for now in the mixing container, because I can always go back and, you know, add more or just change it as we go. All right, so we need some spatulas here. So there we go. And I'm thinking I'd actually like a bigger one for here. So one moment while I just run and get a bigger sized spatula to mix it. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to take a nice big dollop and mix that. I want to make sure that it's mixed thoroughly. It's a very, very dark colour. Beautiful though. Very hard to get the red. It sort of does tend to go a little bit more, I don't know, aubergine I suppose, but trust me, there's definitely reds in there. I'm actually thinking I'm going to add a bit of red interference. I think I'm going to put some of that in here. And I also think I might put some red sparkle. So that's the interference sparkle. And you can use these obviously in any of the darker colours. I'm just trying to find it. Where are they when you want them? Red, Spain, that's the one I want. Okie dokie. As I said, this was just on the fly, as it were. But I am going to put some of this in because I think that on the dark colour, or in the dark colour, it's going to be stunning. So here I am playing around with it before we've even finished putting it all together. But anyway, that's all right. It is gorgeous. I'm just sort of slowly mixing it first and then I'll give it a good stir in a moment. Okay, there we go. Still nice and dark, which you'd expect dragon's bloods to be, right? We'll just see how that goes. All right, so there's that dragon's blood. Molten copper, which is one of my favourites. It is just gorgeous. Just giving it a bit of a stir, as we should always do with all our pastes, because when they've been sitting there for a while, they can separate. Okay. Again, we don't need a lot because this is in a small cup, so I wiped completely off the back of this spatula. And if I want to add a little bit more, I can. Remember that 10% rule, no more than 10%. 5 to 10% is absolutely optimal. And it wouldn't have been, gee whiz, probably not even 5. And it's just, oh, such a gorgeous colour. Love it, love it, love it. I just want to see. By doing that and looking through it, I can just see if it's opaque or, you know, transparent. I think I'm going to add just a smidge more because I think I can. Put that there. Right. It was only a smidge more. After a while, you do get to know this, so if you're new to resin, don't worry. I think that's better. It's just, yep, no transparency, which is what we want in this gorgeous colour. All right, so we've got those. Skim milk. And skim milk is basically a white base which has really been thinned down. So what this means is when you're going over particularly a dark colour, it's going to look smoky. So you can have all sorts of smoky effects. And but again, you only need a small amount. I'm actually wiped off the bottom and I'm just going to put this in. I can always add it. I think I probably will need a bit more because this probably is a bit on the thin side. So just keep in mind how you've got whole cream and you've got skim milk. Yes, I thought I could add a little bit more, so I am going to add just a bit more. Just, that's better. I still want it very sort of semi-transparent, but not too much in there. That is, I think, perfect. So you can imagine that this tub is going to last a long time. And if you love it like me, I've already gone through one. So there you go. Right, I'm going to do some Top Cell White. And this one's been sitting a while, so I'm just going to give it a stir, which, as I said to you, we should always stir. Doesn't matter how long it's been sitting, or if it's only been sitting a couple of days, still do it. All right, so this is quite thick. Again, I don't need a lot of that, so I've taken most of that off. And I'm just going to give that a mix and a stir. It's really important that you mix your colours fully into the resin, because if you've got a clump of colour, it will sit in the resin. It may sort of, depending on how thin your coat is, may sort of sit a bit on the surface. And every time you go to wipe over that, you're going to get a smear of that colour onto your cleaning cloth. It will never cure because it's a lump of colour paste. So it's really important to mix your colours well. And that's lovely. Just going to wipe that again because I did have it was a bit thick, so I'm just going to make sure that that is well and truly mixed. Okay, the other one I said I'd leave for the russet because I'm not sure if I'm going to go into this yet or whether I'm going to just sprinkle it. So I'll just put that to one side for now and see how we go. Meanwhile, we'll put these colours to one side. I'm not worried that I've spilled a bit of resin here because in the moment it's all going to be covered anyway. I didn't worry about putting the tape up today, which I probably should have done actually. I'm just going to see what the temperature of this one is. Now, what is it? 26.2, so it's gone up about 3 degrees. Oops, a little bit of white there. So I'm thinking, will I put some tape around or will I leave it? I think, you know what, I think I can probably leave it, and what I'll do is I'll just wait a little bit for the others just to heat up a bit before I apply them, and then that way hopefully it should hold it. It's quite cool at the moment. I'm just debating. Anyway, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, such a rich, gorgeous colour. Truly is. There's a bit more there. I'm just going to leave that in the tub. And with my glove, I'm just going to smear over. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous colour, I've got to tell you. It is just beautiful. Lorraine, I think you're going to be delighted with this. I truly do. It's just beautiful. Okay. And I really am glad that I put in just that little bit of sparkle. I think it's gorgeous without it, but I can see it in the lights here. In fact, I'll just turn this one up just a bit. I hope that that's not too much on the board, because with the darker colours, of course, it reflects. So we'll have to see how we go. Oops. So you might have noticed my black edge. So now this is all just going to go over and hopefully seamlessly. So you won't see any black, but what you will see is a beautiful opaque edge. And that's the only prep I did, just ensuring, because I made the mistake the other day, didn't I, when I had a similar colour to this one, and I didn't allow quite enough resin because I went off and I used it for a tray, which was gorgeous, but I didn't have much for the board. So, and you could see it. I mean, I smeared it over, but you could see it because it was white. So this way, it just reminded me that I should do this. This way, it's perfectly fine. I'm just feeling with my fingers because if it glides, then I know that it's covered, if that makes sense. Because if it, you can feel it, if it feels rough and it drags, you know then that there isn't the resin covering it. Resin covering it, sorry. Right, I'm just massaging it over the side here. You know what, this colour is absolutely divine. And there's so many other colours that you could put with this. The pewter would look pretty amazing, but I do want to try the copper with it because it's warm. In the warm group, yep, that's all feeling really nice. So I'm just going to, see, I could have used less of this, actually. That's all right. So what I'm going to do, I'm sort of just pushing it out a bit because I don't mind that it runs off the edge. Because I have been quite heavy-handed. I didn't need to mix as much resin for this. These days I get organised. I do tend to guesstimate. Somebody asked me last time, how do you work out how much resin to use? Well, I guesstimate it and then I go from there. But it's always better to have a little bit more and then just have another project, maybe a mould or a little tray or something that you can use the leftover pieces on. All right. Let's just let that sit, I think. Because the lights are here and reflecting, it's picking up, you know, the beautiful little bits of sparkle and the gorgeous sheen that we've managed to create in this, in our colour lab. Just pushing it over a little bit there. Okay, there we go. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually take this glove off, pop it in the bin, because I don't want colour to be contaminated. Right, I'm just going to pop and just see how that light's going to see whether it's actually coming across for you. It's a bit hard to see. It's not too bad, it's just on the edge, so that's, I think that's manageable. We want enough light for you to see everything. That's obviously what it's there for, but as I said, it is a bit of a challenge because it can really reflect. I'm just going to get my heat gun and just hit over the top here for now, just to settle it down a bit. Okay. Now I've got 3 ragdoll cats and they're molting, I think, at the moment, and so I'm finding it a real challenge with the little bits of fluff everywhere. Now I'm just gonna, I saw a bit, yeah, just here. May not be pussy hair, but it's a bit of fluff. And with dark colours, of course, it's always going to be worse, isn't it? Because that's what you're going to see. All right, so now I'm going to just look and see, temperature-wise, how our other little ones are going. 28.6. I'm just going to leave this for a couple of moments longer, just to start to get hotter. And because it always, when you're doing lacing and so you don't want it to move, it's always best to wait until it's over 30. So I'm just going to put this on pause for the moment. Okay everybody, we're back again, and just trying to move those lights around a bit so they weren't there. Anyway, we're we've got this all set. This is probably running at about 32 degrees now. So we're going to have some fun and pour it over. So we're starting off with our skim milk. These cups are great because you can just put them into like a little spout. I'm just trying to think now, what am I going to do here? Okay, I love negative space, but I'm just thinking, shall I do the negative space today or shall I change it up? Putting it across the board perhaps or something. Not sure. So we'll just go with the flow. It's going to spread out anyway, and especially because we haven't got, any of the tape around the edge. All right, so we've got our skim milk there. I'm going to hit it with the heat gun. It just amazes me how it always laces. Just blowing it, just to push it out and around. I'm hoping with the microphone now, it cuts out some of that noise from the heat gun. I mean, really, if you liked minimal things, you could leave this just like this. Okay, I'll leave that like that for now. Actually, I'll pull this out a little bit more. Something a little different. Interesting how the line sort of came out around then when I did that. I can see sort of like, almost like little ridges in the sand. Anyway, okay, so we've got that, which is very pretty already. I'm going to put the white on. So this is our top cell white. Again, I'm just thinking where I want to place it, because I'm going to blow the copper over the top of it as well. So I don't want too much of it, because I do want the skim milk, around the outside. We might just pour maybe from here to there. Maybe just a bit more there, and we'll see what happens with that. Now I'm going to put this gorgeous molten copper over the top of that. Now I'm going to blow it and we'll see what happens. Combination's looking very, very pretty. Okay. It always amazes me how this sort of doesn't go rounded, it goes into sort of almost like little points. I really like that. I think it's very, very pretty. And I'm thinking, gee, that copper is so pretty. It really, really is. So I'm thinking maybe without the copper, I'm just going to maybe just put a little, without the copper, without the white. I'm just going to put like a little bit here and just blow it and just see what happens. That's pretty. That's gorgeous. Because what's happening is with the heat, with the copper, because with this copper there's a really special metal powder in it, and it'll sort of like float to the top. That's really pretty. Yeah, like that. I'm just wondering whether I might add a little bit more over there. Again, I do not want to overdo this because it's so easy to overdo something and, you know, you spoil it. Gee, that almost looks like sort of like a flower coming out. Very pretty. Okay, let's try a little bit just here. See what happens with that. This is gorgeous. Okay, again, as I said to you, I don't want to overdo it, so I think I'm going to, no more colour on here. I think that's enough for what I wanted to achieve. And with the russet, now, rather than pour it, I think I'm going to sprinkle. I'm going to have another project because I didn't use much at all of the copper, the skim milk or the white, so I've actually got quite a bit and a bit more, so I'll have to find another little tray or something to pop that onto. However, let's put some of this russet on. Oh yeah, this is going to be gorgeous. Just a little bit here and there, just to add a little bit of something special to it. Oh yeah, I'm liking this with it. Really, really pretty. Sometimes I get so excited with these. Love colour. That's what it's all about. Colour passion. When Jackie and I came up with that name, it's just perfect because I have such a passion for colour. When I was in the beauty industry, which was for about 20 years actually, I used to get always excited when all the nail polish colours and the makeup colours used to come in, and I never stopped and thought, you know, it was my passion because of the colour. Now I am just so happy in my world of art. Yeah, that is gorgeous. It really is. I wish you could see it because, and you will, because hopefully it's going to be a sunny day in the next day or so where I can actually do this. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Really, really pretty. Wow. Okay, so now there's something extra special that I am going to show you. In fact, I just don't want that bit there. Whoops. So I'm just going to pull that off. Oh, there. Oh, doesn't want to go, does it? There we go. And I dropped a little bit as I came across because I just sort of want it in the middle there. That's perfect. Okay, sorry. The thing I wanted to show you, although this is all really exciting and that colour, Dragon's Blood, is just amazing. Okay. You're seeing this first here. This is our new Fuzion Relax. It is going to be a huge seller for us. We have the agency for Australia of this product. We have just imported it from America, and how it works is that you're spraying it over the top of your resin and it gets rid of all the bubbles. How amazing is that? I'm shaking this because obviously it's been sat on a ship coming over. It just arrived 2 days ago. For those of you who pre-ordered, your shipment's already posted to you. It's already on its way. And this is exciting. Okay. So all we do is just spray across. Simple as that. And it will get rid of all those bubbles, those pesky bubbles. Just want to make sure it hasn't affected any of our work what we did. That's beautiful, really nice. Now, we also have, so that's the Relax, and used on any colour. There are colours that come in this too, and we will be doing demos up the track with those. This one here is Fuzion, but it's ice. Now this has got little metallic bits of mica in, and I thought, let's pop that over and see how we go. I am loving this piece, by the way. Really loving it. It's gorgeous. That copper never lets me down. Just beautiful. Okay, just spray this. All right. So now Oh, now that's interesting, because that has had an effect on here. It's like little bubbles have all popped up. That's interesting. And I can see little bits floating around. And when I see on the edge there, I can see just a really pretty little, well, I suppose it is like a tiny little glitter. Beautiful. Although, I must admit, I did love what we'd already done here, so I'm a little disappointed that it's kind of broken that down a bit. But this is the first time I've used it, so I didn't know how that would go. But it still looks really, really amazing. But I'm going to get my heat gun, and I'm just going to heat it a bit, just so that it hopefully just reverse that a little bit, because I didn't really want all those little cells. If you wanted little cells, I mean, that would be nice, but I didn't. It looks quite pretty. It's sort of softened it a bit now. It's okay. All right, so you've seen an exciting first here today with our Fuzion Relax and our Fuzion Ice. That's the little fine micro metallic detail that comes out, and then the Relax. Both of these obviously break down all the bubbles, so it's very exciting. Okay, everybody, well look, let's leave that for that at the moment, and we'll let this cure, and I'll come down in the next day or so when there's hopefully some sunshine to show you the reveal. Hello there, everybody. I'm so sorry, but we have to do this reveal indoors because it's been pouring with rain all day. Okay, here we go. I'm absolutely thrilled with this piece. It is gorgeous. I'm sorry, if it was in full light, you'd see the full glory of it. We've got the beautiful coming up here. We've got the skim milk. Gosh, I love that. It was so perfect for this. Then we've got the gorgeous molten copper here. And you can't see it, but I don't know if I can do it there. But anyway, you can sort of see over here. See when the light hits it, how it really, particularly the little cells there, they just all shine beautifully. Really happy that I put the little bit of the russet on in the colour change. It's just beautiful that, well, the Russet Colour Shift, I should say. That's beautiful, that glitter. Absolutely gorgeous. And it's perfect for the colours that we've got here today. The top cell white creates some really, really interesting lacing here, particularly with that molten copper. It almost looks like a, I don't know, like a sort of a plug hole going down there, or a flower, the inside of a flower. Absolutely gorgeous. Really, really loving this piece. I can't tell you enough. And you can see here in the reflection, that was that ice, the reflection of the metallic effect of the ice. And so that's the one that gets rid of all the bubbles. That was the one I put on the top. I did put the first one on, which was the Fuzion Relax, and that one there is perfect for getting rid of all the bubbles. I probably overdid it a bit because then I couldn't help myself because I wanted to try it. Oops, sorry. Oh, my finger's over the top of the camera. My apologies. Okay, that's the metallic effect, and that's the Fuzion Ice Max. And then that is what you're seeing in the reflection here. All the beautiful metallic glitter all over it. So there we go. So we've released that new product, which is now available now on our website. It's absolutely beautiful. And the colour, not that easy to see possibly in this light, but however, this is called Dragon's Blood, and we're just in the throes of releasing that as well. So there you go. This is a lovely new piece, and I'm sorry with the reflection of lights. Again, I can't do anything about that. I'm going away for 10 days now on a art workshop, so I look forward to catching up when I get back, and there'll be more videos. And remember, if you don't give it a go, you'll never know. So use this technique, give it a whirl, and let me know how you go. Any questions you might have, pop them in down below in the comments, and I'll promise I will always get back to you. Look forward to hearing from you all. Take care and have a lovely week. Catch you on the channel next time. Bye for now.